Hi guys, welcome back to Inno. Today I have brought you a different horror survival film. You would never have heard a story like this. They're different, but they are also different. In fact, our director might even go into the story of the film just to make it more confusing if the one-liners say so. If you've only seen so far, then The Lovely Dark in the Deep, released in 2023. Okay, let's get into the story. Before you go, just leave a like. The reserve forest is featured in the film's opening scene. It's just like that. They are looking for a forest officer who is in the thick forest. So his name is Benjamin. Meanwhile, he's standing outside the tent that was given to him doing something. It was 8 o'clock in the morning on the walkie-talkie, so all the rangers came and asked each other to confirm their positions. Everyone answers, but when this Benjamin's dad comes, he doesn't say anything. He's either quiet or busy doing something. What's wrong with you, Benjamin? Who bought the dog? You're in the right position? You can repeat it over and over, but if this guy sees it, he doesn't notice it. He writes something on a piece of paper, comes over and sticks it on the board there. That's why I am obligated to give this land. It's like he just wrote it down and went into the forest. Then, they put the title of this film on the forest and make our heroine horny in the next scene. So actually our heroine has been wanting to become a forest officer for a long time. That's why she fought for so long. And somehow, she finally got a job. If someone missed it, that's where our heroine is now coming from. So, if you've been watching while you're here, you've probably been listening to a lot of that forest talk on her radio. What they're saying is that many people who came to see this forest have disappeared. They only found the missing parts of some people, but not their bodies. So where did they go or what happened to them? No one knows yet. That's what our heroine has been saying, asking for all this. And that too, I came here with my hand in my mouth, biting it. This is why my hands are bleeding. She said, oh, there's blood, and stopped the car, took out a tissue paper and looked again. A large deer was standing in front of her car. They are a little scared. What happens at that time is, suddenly their radio comes on and starts playing. If you immediately adjust it and look back, you will see the deer that was there before. I don't know where I went. I thought, maybe they ran away. Our heroine came back and left from there, arriving at the base where the forest office is located. Our heroine has just arrived, hasn't she? 2 people who saw it came, and gossiped, and talked. This girl must have tried for a long time to get a job at this place. She must be talking like she doesn't know what's going on in this place. Then someone named Correct Jackson makes an entry. Why are you scaring the 2 of them by not speaking nicely to the newcomers? As soon as they said that, they also saw it and left. Immediately, this Jackson also said to the heroine, hi, my name is Jackson. That's why you're the only one who's new here. So you're just waving your hands and doing all the dirty work and you don't even notice what they're saying. They just talk about everything like this. Our heroine also says thank you, as if you didn't think much of anything. But our heroine wouldn't come and talk to anyone here that much, and they keep coming and maintaining the distance. Besides, they are like the head of this place. They come here and give instructions to all the rangers that come here. If you were to say anything, we would have given you a small cabin like this in the forest. You should come from that place and protect this forest. Besides, there are many places where you can find cell phone towers. In fact, in many places, electricity is not available at all. I've been giving instructions about this forest, saying that you should be the one to watch and be safe. But our heroine's missing post is coming, and they are waiting. Whoever it is, we saw Benjamin or Tigral in the starting scene, didn't we? That's his poster. Just like that, in the next scene, our heroine is hiding it from there to go to her cabin. Then you see a couple of 2-year-olds coming and starting to talk to our heroine. It's like you just came to work, but you still talk to our heroine in a nice way. Whatever they say, we'll come to this forest and camp like this. My husband really likes to be adventurous. That's why we came to camp at this place. That's what I've been saying about them. Our heroine hears all that, and then after that, they head to her cabin and start leaving. So the place given to our heroine was given to someone in the starting scene. Wasn't there someone else? It was his cabin that was given to him. Our heroine must stay here and protect this forest. So he took all her things and left. Besides, he's stuck here, isn't he? They click on what's attached to it. If you look at it, it looks like rangers. Meanwhile, our heroine takes all her things and arranges them. So that cabin is pretty good for the price. There will be water on the side that catches the fish. I grabbed that too and took all her things and hid them. Only then do they take a post and stick it next to that map. There is a photo of a little girl in that post, and we know why our heroine was so eager to come to this bar. Her sister had disappeared here a few years ago. That's why they came here, to do a thorough research on this forest. So after that, they took a family photo of her and looked at it, feeling very emotional and just lying there. When they lay down like that, the names of the rangers who had been here before would have been written on that wooden board. After watching all that, they turn off the lights and fall asleep. It's the next morning now. They start making announcements on the walkie-talkie for our heroine. Our heroine also replied to that. So if you're saying something like this, you should go and have a look at your wild side. You should check and tell me if everything is okay there. If you look at our heroine like that, she'll be ready for it. So I'm going to go on a mission to the forest where the ranger who used to be here used to come and look for me. So If anyone comes to this cabin and disturbs us, they will write a note and leave for that petrol in the forest. So, I have to stay in the forest for 3 days and then come back to do patrol work. If you see the heroine, she'll call you, connect the radio, and start walking to her song. Then, no matter what they say on the radio, they start talking about this forest. I mean, they were saying that a lot of people had gone missing in this forest, right? So, how did they get to this place? How did they disappear? They say everything, like, did they get their bodies back? It seems like they finally have all their bodies. But their Sue would have been left with nothing. Even then, it seems like a small matter that many people went missing. So after hearing about this forest, our heroine also started to explore this place, listening to the song. Then, as night falls, they start to pitch tents in one place and stay. They stay like that, and then the next morning they start cleaning again. Shouldn't they come and tell us this report in the morning? That's why they came and told me on the walkie-talkie. All positions like this are correct. I'm also looking for a gun here. Just as I was saying that, the walkie-talkie came on and started making noise. What's wrong with this? When I opened it up, it looked like the battery had gone. If you have another battery, you can take it and put it in. They are checking their bags and asking for help. The battery pack will come and go. It's like they forgot and hid it. I don't know what to do with the heroine.
Okay, let's wait a day or two and then leave.
And so they start going into the forest. It's night. As night falls, you start to hear footsteps in the distance. Even the heroine is a little scared, because only the heroine will be in this forest. Not only that, but while we were watching. With the torchlight on, a deer came and looked at our heroine. This is the deer that our heroine must have seen when she arrived in the car. While our heroine is waiting to see if this is the same thing, when a strange sound comes from the radio again, our heroine immediately checks it to see if the radio is working, but it doesn't work again. They're asking, "What's this?" And they're looking at the battery. Don't put the battery in the battery. Then suddenly, they heard a noise and were scared and looked at the deer again. Honor will come and see. Not only that, we heard footsteps approaching, but now we heard a sound like someone coming from nearby. We were scared and wondered who it was. We turned the torch and looked, but no one else had come. That's Jackson. So while our heroine was reporting in the morning, the walkie-talkie suddenly came on and cut in, didn't it? So that was while talking to this Jackson. So what was he saying? Didn't he get cut off while you were talking to him like this? So I brought you the battery on a whim, assuming you wouldn't have taken it. Okay, let's sit and talk for a while. They come to a great spot and sit down and eat snacks and start talking. The moonlight is so beautiful to look at. So what does our Jackson say? You came to this place out of desire. Is there anything you need to know about this place? He asks if he can find out about the heroine. But our heroine is the party's usher, so there's no answer. Immediately Jackson said, "Okay, let's ask for something else," and then said, "Yes, I'll give you a cabin in the forest." Are you sleepy in that cabin? Because many people can't sleep if they sleep alone without anyone like this. Strange dream will come. That's why I asked you. He asks like that. Our heroine also says that there is nothing like that. Meanwhile, the two of them set up a tent at that very spot and begin to stay. It's the next morning. Don't cut it. Isn't it time for Jackson to come and leave? I'll give the heroine a lot of batteries and leave. He says, "You chef, go to your cabin," and leaves. Our heroine says thanks and continues her patrol work. After a while, he finally arrives at her cabin. If you look at Cho, he's very tired. Why has it been going on for so long? They lie down slowly and close their eyes only when it's light. It's like a little dream. That is, it looks like a big tree, and our heroine looks like a little girl playing in that place. Then a female voice shouted, "Where did your sister go?" And our heroine snapped out of her dream. What happens the next day? Good shower and refreshing themselves, they come back to the map and mark some places. Guess this guy seems to be coming in this direction and going to look for a hammer. They go to that place and look at it in the same way. It's clear that they're looking for something. After Cho had been hammering all over the place, he came back to this cabin and marked the maple again. They start marking little by little and going in search of something in each place, but they just can't find what they're looking for. But that dream keeps coming back again and again. That's why our heroine sees how her sister came into this forest and how she got lost in this forest. So, that's actually what happened. But no matter how much she searched, she couldn't find what she was looking for. So one night, she was so sad that she turned off all her lights and went to sleep. What happens after a while is that someone appears to be standing outside the cafe where our heroine is and walking away. Our heroine is also a liar. But she didn't know there was someone outside. It seemed like something was wrong. What will happen? Why do we feel like this now? Just as she was turning on the light and looking around, someone knocked on her door. They are afraid of being hit. Who are you knocking on the door at this hour? Whatever you want, but whoever knocks outside, please open the door quickly. We need your help. The heroine, who shouted by it quickly, is now scared. Actually, our heroine is a ranger, so I really need your help. He says, be patient for a while, and, having no other choice, goes to open the door. When you open the door, you see someone standing outside. So, standing there in a very tense state, the heroine immediately looked at us and hugged us. We don't have time, so hurry up and buy it. Even the heroine, be patient. I'll make soup. What's wrong with you? First, leave it alone. If he saw you, he would leave the heroine and run into the forest. So the heroine didn't understand anything. If you see her, she will start running into the forest barefoot. When you go like that, it's a danger to walk around like this. Please inform me as soon as possible if you want to buy it. Didn't he run away before it went away? You will see him somewhere else. But all I hear is a sound like him screaming. Like Sarah, I immediately rushed towards the noisy place and saw that he was standing there. Just look at his hands, they're so cruel to look at. What are you saying? If you were here like this, you don't know where you've gone. Just like that, the chain is cut. Now what happens the next day? They came and rescued me. You will see that ordinary girl. Actually, it seems like these guys came to the forest to make friends. Then a girl came and disappeared. That girl's name is Sarah. So that's why this forest officer's head is here. What are they going to tell all the rangers here? If the name of the missing girl like this comes up, Sarah. Hey. So we need to find her quickly. Everyone, go search in the forest. They sent out a message saying, specify the team and search for them. Jackson was going to lead the team. Okay, so is our heroine ready? But look what Jackson is saying. You shouldn't come here, you stay here. Because even if that ordinary girl comes to this place, she will definitely come. I don't know what to do with our heroine when she comes to tell me that she doesn't need you, at least for her sake. She also wants to find it. However, this Jackson is a slightly higher-ranking officer, so I said okay because I had no other choice but to disobey him. So if you saw him, he went to look for that Sarah in the forest. But our heroine can't stay calm even for a short while. What if he says, I want to look for you too, after seeing that photo? I'll go into the forest and look for Sarah, just like on the board there. Be Sarah, if you come to this place and read this, go to my cabin and wait. We'll be back soon. And then go into the forest to look for Sarah. When you go like that, you'll be screaming like Sarah. Then all those old memories started coming back to her. Oh, did her sister go missing in the forest a few years ago? So, that sister's name will come and scream like Jenny. Jenny, Jenny. So, in that memory, right where I should have shouted Sarah, I suddenly shouted Jenin. Only then will she understand. So, we've entered this tense situation, so you quickly drank some water and looked again, and you started looking for that Sarah. Time goes by, and it's night. All this time, I've been searching for Sarah and have come a long way. What happens then is that suddenly a torn piece of cloth appears and lies underneath. There may be some blood in it. So as if someone was nearby, I searched carefully, and a girl turned around and stood there motionless. So our heroine is slowly coming forward. Look, her hands and feet are all covered in blood. They're in a very terrible situation. She's just now blinking when the heroine calls her name. Are you telling the truth or not? When I asked the heroine about that, she quickly came over and hugged me saying, I'm telling the truth. If you watch the next scene, which cuts to the next scene, you'll see the forest officer's head has arrived at that location. So, they saved that girl too. Somehow, our heroine came and saved her life. But if that's what she's looking for, it could be a bit of a problem. Because what that head is saying is that like this, they told you to stay here and leave, Jackson. But why did you go into the forest and search for it? If you hadn't listened to this kind of talk, it could have been dangerous for you too. In a week, you'll be leaving here again, emptying your house, and going back to your hometown, because the helicopter will arrive in a week. So, let's pick you up and leave. So, your work for this season is over. Even our heroine can't say. Anything to say that? You thought this would help us? But he said, that's how it is, and said, okay, double quotes, our heroine can only stay in this cabin for a week, and they will go to town. So, while she was in her cabin, she thought to herself, okay, we have a week. Why do we have to stay in this cabin? Let's go outside and search. If you break the rules again after saying that they start looking for you in the forest, would you have come and saved a girl back then? They also came to the place where the girl was and searched thoroughly. They are checking all the rocks there, but nothing seems different. They take a tent, put it up there, and start sleeping. Then all of a sudden the walkie-talkie comes to the toy and starts making some sound. She somehow turned it off too. Then if you try to sleep, you won't be able to sleep. That's why you can go outside and take a look. So, at night, they left the tent and went outside and just searched the forest. At that time, I suddenly heard a noise. They are the ones who are scared of light. As I was looking at the torchlight, wondering what it might be, I suddenly heard a sound like someone moving. I'll turn on the light right next to her tent to see if someone will crawl. Away or not, she doesn't understand anything. Who are you now? Do you need any help? I am a forest ranger. I will help you. Saying that, he slowly walked forward and looked around the side of the tent. Seeing no one, it's like something else is going on. And Ivan, who was scared, hears a noise like someone coming near him, and he ducks into the tent and disappears. At that time, it seemed like someone was standing outside her tent. Is there something resembling a large figure? Eva, who was so scared, took her warm hand and brought it to her. I have a weapon like this. They say that if someone comes near you, you'll be in danger, but if you've seen it, you wouldn't be asking all this. He just came to the heroine's side and left. As soon as Cho leaves, Jackson comes on her walkie-talkie and starts talking. Where are you all? People like this have come and gone? Asked. If you see them, please inform me. Heroine came from and disappeared. He starts saying that. At that time, her walkie-talkie wasn't working properly. Just as I was about to start listening, that Jackson voice came in and asked in a slightly different way. What are you saying? Jackson came and said, well, you go look for them. And our heroine said, okay too, and left the tent and came outside and said, you must have seen someone a while ago, right? And they start searching for them as if they were looking for them. So our heroine has come so fast, hasn't she? While you were still there, you suddenly realized you had arrived at a certain place. It's a lake-like place. So when I saw this, I was a little surprised that this lake was so far away. Meanwhile, I arrived near the lake on the walkie-talkie to explain how we got to this place. But I told Jackson that it was too far away. But then Jackson came and started talking differently, didn't he? I don't know if it's Jackson or someone else. So what are you saying? I've come wherever you want to go. Saying that this forest ranger's motto comes up and starts to speak. You must not leave anything behind in this forest. You must not take anything from this forest. Our heroine doesn't understand anything when Jackson comes along and tells her that this is like a philosophy of this forest officer, saying, you shouldn't kill anything in this forest. He was looking at her in shock, as if wondering why. She was talking like this. Okay, don't stay here any longer. Let's go to the tent. With that, they quickly start walking back. Then, if you look at that walkie-talkie, you'll suddenly hear her sister's voice. They are the ones who just fell down, ready to be beaten. Just like that, the chain is cut. Now, the next morning they wake up. It would be like her sister, coming to talk to her. When I opened my eyes and looked around, I saw that they were right next to that lake again, so she doesn't understand anything. Then Jackson's voice will be heard again on the walkie-talkie. Again, the sentences. For the forest officer. They are just staring at each other while they are watching from behind. I saw someone coming down from the top of the tree. So our heroine wouldn't have come here and seen it. But then I heard a noise, and when I turned around and went to the tree, there was blood on the tree. So while we were watching this, was that Sarah who was behind it? Or was she the one who was protecting our heroine's friends? Was she in a different stage when she was found? Was she in that stage? Is it cruel to see our heroine walking up to her and asking, you want to talk? To me, she doesn't understand anything. What? This is like what my father asked me to do, he asked, feeling scared and putting his hand on his head and looking down. Then her sister came and said, you should give her back what you took from this forest, and disappeared. The heroine doesn't understand anything. As I was walking through the forest, I heard the voice of a 2-year-old couple. That's why we saw a couple in the starting scene, right? It seems like they came into the forest and pitched a tent and stayed there. I was happy to see some good jobs and went up to them and asked them how they got here. But if they saw it, they wouldn't answer our heroine. In fact, they won't even look at our heroine. Only then does the heroine realize. It seems like we are invisible to their eyes. He is still amazed and wants to leave. Then a forest officer was watching. If you look at it like that, it's no one else. It's like another one that looks just like our heroine. Just look at our heroine and say, give me whatever you took from this forest quickly. Saying that he comes and slaps those old men. Are they the ones who run away in fear of the heroine? I mean, when you run like this, wherever you end up, there are posters of people who have gone missing in this forest, right? Have you ever come to a place like that? So there are photos of everyone who went missing before that. There will also be a photo of her sister. So while I was watching it with trepidation, I came back to listen to the sound again, and it was the same. Couple again. It also looks like that grandfather came and ate their own food. Do you see it with your eyes closed? Look, she has a gun in her hand. The two of them were sitting in front. So now our heroine is starting to understand everything. Our heroine must have somehow protected that innocent girl in this forest, right? So in return, this heroine of ours must sacrifice someone for this forest. If you don't do that, you'll end up in a forest like this. I understand. So does she have a gun in her hand now? So if you don't suit those elders like you gave this forest to them, then you're going to get ready to take the plunge and make them suit up. But at the last minute, she couldn't make the suit. They just put it under their chin. If you saw those adults, they would have walked away from there. If you watch it again, the voice she starts hearing on the radio is Jackson's voice. Whatever you take from this forest, give it back to the forest with respect. So the heroine who heard all this did it willingly. They say that I can't do anything from now on. So from now on, our heroine doesn't know where she's going. They're going to that lake again. Then she gets something like a map. So on that map, it's marked where our heroine is. I've marked how I want to go from here. Okay, let's go this way. They're starting to go in that direction. As we were leaving, our heroine came and made a scene. Whether or not this guy is staying, if you see a cabin like that, you'll immediately notice that it's nearby. She only remembers after seeing that shoe. They would have given it to her as if it were her sister's shoes. They must have thought about it all and felt it. So now, after thinking about all that, go inside that cabin. It's just like that. Her old house has changed. This house is ours, and the family that is slowly moving in is still there. Even then, her younger sister would have come and said, "Mom, I'm going to the forest to play." She would have run away. Could it be that she has gone missing from her mother's house, so our heroine can follow that little girl? As I was leaving, I heard a voice on the radio. Who is that talking about? Is that Jackson there or not? He and his head lady are there. The two of them are talking. I mean, no matter what that lady is talking about, that girl won't get away like this. It must have said that she came and took this forest. Jackson immediately said, "If that's the case, we can't do anything about it." Okay, maybe talk to his family. Okay. They're playing a conversation on the radio that sounds like Jackson talking about something like that. So our heroine is shocked to see this. She went back into her house, not understanding why the forest had come and taken everything. When they went to look, their mother came and bit their hand and ate it. It's so cruel to see all this. Not only that, but I'll be attending a funeral next time. If you look there, is that coffin full of these deer worth a lot of money or not? That deer is lying dead in a horrible way. Not only that, her father also commits a brutal suicide. In the bathroom, if you see our heroine's face after seeing all this, the lights will go off. Not only that, but she hears something in her sister's room. Go to her sister's room immediately. You look there, you'll see her sister standing there. So, upon seeing this, our heroine felt very sad and said, "I shouldn't have left you alone with a mother like this. Should have protected you, watched over you. You can say that it was because of me that you disappeared, but that little girl is not your fault," saying that he disappeared. The heroine doesn't understand anything. Will you come back again? If you watch Doggin, someone would have been missing in the first scene, right? He is shouting. Our frightened heroine, Inno, turns to this side. If you look at this side, the head lady is smiling. So, just by looking at them, you are. Our heroine, are you real? If you ask them a question like that, they'll say, "Yes, I'm real." And now they're starting to tell you everything. Every forest ranger here is starting to know the same thing. This card will come and take a lot of people. Can't stop it on our own. So that's how Forrest came and took Sarah. But you came and saved that girl. That's why we need to replace Sarah with someone else now. Not only that, but you are not responsible for your sister's disappearance. She was also taken from this forest. Who will take it then? The heroine asks that. I don't know who's taking it, but someone is taking it. We can't stop it ourselves. So now they're trying to take you, but I won't let it go. Because I have made many sacrifices over the years. If you're going to tell me that you don't want to be sacrificed anymore, someone is dragging our heroine into the water. Are you blinking again? I see he's still in that lake. Not only that, but it seemed like her sister was standing on the shore, calling out to her. She doesn't understand anything.
When he
Dived into the water again and came up, he saw our Jackson floating there. As soon as saw our heroine, he quickly went to the water, somehow saved the heroine, brought her outside, and gave her all the blankets she needed. So how do you know that I'm the heroine who saw all this and got lost? He asks like that. So actually this Jackson knows everything, doesn't he? But he only announces on the radio that this kind of call for help is needed, and that it should be answered quickly. She didn't answer the question Costin asked. Just like that, the chain is cut. It's just like that. After a few days, they are lusting after our heroine again. She won't come back to the same job again. If you look here now, our Jackson is in the position where that head is. If you look at him, he's explaining a lot about everything that's happened with that new ranger. But our heroine is the only one missing post. It doesn't belong to anyone else. It's the same as our head. So these people sacrifice themselves to protect our heroine. Then our heroine goes to her same cabin. There are already a lot of people's names written there, right? And the heroine writes her name too? And he starts watching her work as usual. While they were pitching their tent in such a place, Jackson arrived and hurriedly made an announcement to everyone. Someone like this has gone missing. I told him to make an announcement if he finds out. So our heroine said okay, came to the cabin and bought a poster of the missing person. Then, while searching for them, he went into the forest and saw a man standing in one place. So this is no one else. That person is the one who recently went missing. So he turned to our heroine and said, "Are you real? Is it real? Ask me that." But if you see our heroine, if she answers this question, her story will not end. So if you say, "No, I'm not real," then immediately she too will turn back and start looking at that side. Our heroine also leaves without informing us about this. And with that, this film ends. So it was a very strange film, wasn't it? So what are you trying to say about this? There's no card like this. The card will come, lure someone, and take them into this forest. Our headliner knows this, and Jackson knows it. Not only that, but all the rangers who work here know it. Is that why they are searching, as they are searching? And are they really lost? No, they only analyze and protect the ones taken from that forest. If they were taken by the forest, they would come and pretend not to see them and leave them with the forest. But they would have told our heroine to stay in a place where she wouldn't be able to get into the forest. But our heroine must have been looking at that Sarah girl because she was in Vantata. Is that really the source? This is why if you saw this lady, you would have quit your job. But since our heroine doesn't want to go back into the forest, the head sacrifices them and saves our heroine, and only in the end does the heroine come to understand about the forest. That's why the forest is the last place he's been hiding. They left because they didn't want us to interfere in this. So I think you understand completely now. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like. Stay safe, take care of everything you love, very, very safely. Goodbye.